This is me clapping for Grant for being a good editor. Good job.
Good job, Grant.
You did it.
Love it, Grant. You did it, Grant. The one time you bought me a beer and then you left me at the bar and I almost got arrested.
Wait, what?
Put that in. Put that in, Grant.
we can talk about this as podcast. We'll put Grant on the spot.
Call him out.
Okay, I'm curious. When was this?
Minus World Drama.
Okay, hold on. We can talk about that in the podcast. We just have to figure out how to call it Grant, and then I can segue. Maybe at some point we just actually the transition topics. Maybe we just call upon Grant. Good work, Grant.
Summoned.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Minus Cast, episode 27. I'm here with Chari, Nathan, Tetra, and myself to talk about a bunch of random stuff, from personal projects to, I don't know what
Anything.
else yet. We figured we'd leave the discussion with that.
Yeah, we're just going to kind of go with whatever today. I know we usually have a topic. We're like you said, we'll start with personal projects, but after that, who knows where it's going to go?
I just wanted to do that because we honestly always have a topic that we lead with, so I feel and we always discuss it previously, so we always have something prepared, and I feel like even though we're not going off of a script, there's always a sort of structure to it, and I like it more when we just don't know what we're gonna say. It's even more improvised that way, I feel like.
Let's script a Minus Cast.
Script a Minus Cast. And we're just holding our scripts. We're here.
Scripts.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Minus Cast.
We have those reading glasses.
Laughter.
Laugh track.
Say a quip to make Tetra laugh.
Grant, add funny meme.
Insert look at this dude joke here.
Look at this dude joke.
Make reference
Mention
to
Nico's
Nico.
first time. Yeah. Mention Nico's first time playing video games.
Say something about Nico cheating. Say something about Nico's quiz.
I feel like that's all we've been doing on jokes aside. Is that we've been recycling the same jokes for 3 months now. And they keep getting funnier. And they keep getting funnier. That's the best part.
I know that we say we're gonna open with personal projects, but on an aside, I feel like the reason we do that is because it makes us laugh. Because we do that regardless. We even when we're not recording, we still make those jokes.
To be fair, I just feel like we just get. I mean, I'm guilty of this. We just kind of gang up on Nico in terms of saying he cheats, somehow, sprinkling in bagged milk, all these different things pertaining to Nico.
I mean, that's the thing. I feel like we're like any other friend group. We just recycle the same jokes that make us laugh, but then we cycle them out. 2 years ago, it was Zuck. Zuck was the thing that kept making us laugh, and we brought it back to it all the time.
Yeah, it's every year there's a new joke. And even though we haven't really been able to see each other this year, besides PAX, we still have just Nico cheating. That's just our joke this year.
Yeah. For the first 3 months, it was Kappa was the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Kappa.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Remember
that.
Yeah. Remember Kappa?
Using that
Kappa
as a verb.
Dude, we need a tier list of Minus World jokes. That should be a podcast.
We did make an iceberg, which kind of pretty much was that.
Counts, yeah.
Basically,
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
We've totally forgot Kappa. We did not add that to the iceberg.
Yeah.
Once in a while, it's someone sneaks it into Discord with the eye look with the guy on the microphone, the Kappa guy.
I love that photo.
Oh yeah.
We got some good emojis.
It's been so long that I've accepted that emoji as just that's a thing that exists. I don't even
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. What is your favorite meme or image that has come out this year? And it doesn't have to be
this year
in terms of an actual meme, but a funny image that defines 2020 for you, which is a weird thing to say because 2020 has been a train wreck, but
defines 2020. This doesn't define 2020, but definitely the Ronaldinho soccer 64 meme. That one's fantastic. It's so wholesome. It's just it's short, sweet, and to the point. It's just great.
I'm trying.
I would say hands down my favorite image to come up in 2020 is that image of Zuckerberg surfing with like,
Oh my god!
and it's like
yes.
someone iced his face like a cake, and then everyone like photoshopped his butt to be like a shelf butt, and like they passed it off as the real photo. Dude, like every time I see that, I just lose it.
I was just gonna say anything that involves Zuckerberg is just high quality meme. It just is.
I'm looking back to see like which one, because I was thinking of Chungus, but Chungus was 2 years ago. But
Yeah.
it still makes me laugh.
I love Big Chungus. Wish he was real. It's my friend.
Me too, dude. I wish he was my friend.
Always Has Been was another good one I really enjoyed. It was kind of
Always
Oh,
Has Been
yeah.
was
meta.
really good.
That's
yeah.
old. That wasn't all that like popped off this year, but I've seen those memes like again 3-4 years
Really?
ago.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it used to be like just like a cartoon scribble. Wasn't it like
Yeah.
the joke about Ohio or something?
Something
Yeah,
like
like-
that. Yeah.
Like they're like from space.
Like
and they're looking-
Wisconsin.
It's all
everything's
Ohio.
Ohio. Yeah.
I think
That's right, I
the
forgot about that.
the cake meme is probably one of like I don't love
yeah,
that's
it,
true. Oh,
but
yeah.
it's just like indicative of this year.
That was the fastest 15-second meme ever. It was a thing for
Yeah,
one day,
yeah.
and then it went away instantly.
What was right
crazy.
before? There was something right before Always Has Been.
There was the Dad, Are You Winning, Son? But that's still kind of a thing.
That's old too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really old.
Yeah. I don't know.
trying to
Dame Dane.
Dame Dame. Yeah.
Dame Dane.
Dame.
I can't remember.
Ice
I
Age
could've
Baby.
sworn-
That was this year. That feels like ages ago.
Ice
feels
Age?
like Ice Age Baby.
Baby.
The stupid.
Oh my
dumbass
god, I forgot
kid.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that does
That
not
was
feel like
another
it was
one
this
that-
year.
That was another one that felt like kind of short to me, just because like it showed up. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are we memeing on the Ice Age Baby? And then like just went away. I'm like, all right, that was the thing, I guess.
I think.
I don't know. Memes this year are really like short-lived.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been, especially that cake one. I mean, that was amazing how fast that blew up and just died.
Yeah.
Like a breath. Oh, Warriors Apparition, obviously. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was a good.
Damn, that was this year.
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago. It was this summer.
Oh wow, really? That feels like it was at least January. This year.
No. The
Oh, man.
Apparition thing popped up in like May. It picked up steam in June, and then the whole Luigi being in Mario 64 was in July.
Dude, all of that was like the most insane lead up because it was like
Yeah.
all Mario 64
Yeah.
creepypastas, and then you have Luigi is resurrected at the end of it all.
That's still so cool that people found him in the,
The
code.
prophecy was fulfilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The prophecy was fulfilled.
I just
Compton
love it.
Dance was this year as well. That's actually
yeah,
a pretty good
Compton
song.
Dance.
That was
pretty
this
short-lived.
year.
Yeah. That was this year. Cuphead came out this year in Smash Bros. That's not really a meme. That's just an event.
That just happened.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Cuphead
Wow.
also hasn't had anything happen for like 2 years. Would
What's
love
that?
for them to finish. Cuphead also hasn't had anything happen
yeah.
in the game except for coming out on PS4. But like, they need to announce what they're doing with the DLC. Like, I have a feeling they're gonna like just make a sequel at this point. I think they're probably like, we put so much work into this. Let's just scrap it as DLC and just rework it into a full sequel. Because like it's been like delayed for like 2 years now. I mean, like COVID stuff aside, it's still,
Well, do you
like,
remember how long
they
the
haven't
first
said
game
anything
took
about
to
it.
make?
It took them
like
so
7 years.
long.
Like, yeah, it was like I think it was first now it was like 2012 or 13, and then it kept getting pushed back and back and back. And,
But it was so worth it because that game is incredible.
yeah,
So, yeah.
I just wish they'd
I
tell
could
us that
see
it's pushed back. That's the thing. Like they haven't like
Yeah.
they pushed it back, and it's been over a year since they pushed it back, and just silence. At least like give the people something, you know.
Yeah.
Say like it's coming.
Yeah.
It's still coming.
I think at this point a sequel probably does make more sense than DLC because
Yeah.
I mean DLC like a year later, okay, I kind of get, but now it's like it's pushing 3 years since the original game came out.
Yep.
So, yeah, I
But
can
I feel like
see a
they
sequel.
built such a brand with it. You might as well take it
Yeah.
and run with it. Like in terms of like people love the characters. If it was a one and done, that would definitely probably disappoint some people. Not because they didn't enjoy it, but just because I feel like there is so much you could do with it.
Yeah.
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 Well, they're making the Netflix show, which is like a pretty big step as
Oh,
well.
that
That's
looks
true.
so cool. I can't wait to check that out.
Yeah. Watch it be like Xbox One Series X day one exclusive. That's what they've been saving it for.
God.
Pushing stuff back is hard. Well, like when you announce something,
Yeah.
because when you announced Zardy's Maze, like you said 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
I didn't really announce it. I literally uploaded a picture of. I stole an image. I screenshotted. I forget. I think it's called "You Suck is Cooking." It's a YouTube channel where he goes through the different ways of shucking a corn. which I highly recommend. It's such a great video. But I was like, I need to announce this. I don't have any corn accessible to me.
I deadass thought that was your hand.
Yeah, same. Exposed. World premiere.
No, dude. I mean, it was weird because like 2017, I woke up at like 3 a.m. like Don't Wake Daddy style. I just like sat up in bed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this game idea. I wrote it down on my phone, and then it was not until like many months later where I started putting the pieces together. And then it wasn't until 2018 when the team was assembled. Yeah, it was a long time coming. I mean, I didn't really announce it though, because it's such a weird thing. Like when you have such long, I guess, dev cycles for games, the last thing I would want to do is announce, I'm making a corn maze based horror game. And then you see like all these other games spring up off the concept, which is fine. Anyone can make what they want, but like, it can be a bit disheartening if like during the dev cycle, for example, like the new Finest of Freddy's game that came out, Help Wanted at the time, had like a corn maze type thing in it. Baldi's Basic also had a corn maze type thing in it. And both are great. It's just like stuff like that. Like when you see that stuff launch, you're like cold sweat. Oh my gosh, did someone already beat me to it?
Yeah, the worst part is when you think that people are gonna accuse you of like, oh, you got this idea from here. It's like I literally didn't.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I guess with games especially. Like, I can see how it would be really hard to, like, find the balance of keeping it a secret, but also trying to get the word out and get the hype out. You kind of have to time it, like, really, really well. Like, I feel like for a game, I mean, especially for, like, Zardy's Maze, I mean, there are a lot of horror games out there. Obviously, the emphasis is on just the cornfield, so that's, like, kind of, like, the original thing about it. But I don't know how you could really do that. Maybe announce it, like, 6 months early?
Well, I think that's the thing. That's the thing too, is like the avenue that Zardy's Maze fits into isn't really your traditional horror game. Like a lot of diehard horror YouTubers or something, if they wouldn't have played it, they probably actually wouldn't like it, because it's more in line with a challenge-oriented horror game like Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, you could even say Baldi's Basics, things like that, where it's the horror is there, the jump scares are there, but really it's actually it's really difficult. That's like so it kind of fits more into that sort of wheelhouse. But again, like announcing it's hard because like you kind of want to have that twist. Like one of my favorite things about the game is people watch the trailer, they look at the itch page and like, cool, I'm gonna give this a try, and they open up the game and it's nighttime. And like that is my favorite moment for people, because they're like, oh, it's night. And like they just sit there and they're like, wait, what's going on? And it's hard to do if I were to show like all the characters off, or I were to show like actual gameplay and stuff, like you lose out on that twist.
Right, yeah.
So you have to sacrifice kind of the promotional value a little bit, because you kind of don't want to lead with those things, because that twist is great every time when someone has zero understanding of what it actually is.
Yeah, that reminds me a lot of there's a game that the Hobo Bros played, and that they had me play it like 2 years ago, called Super Mario Dolor. Yeah. For those that aren't familiar, so it looks like this really crappy flash-based Mario game, and you start off, everything's fine, you're just doing like jumps, and you're like, okay, just a boring Mario game, but then it out of nowhere it turns into this like creepy pasta horror thing, and then there's like jump scares everywhere, everything's like dead and bleeding. It just comes out of like, it's like complete surprise. You would never see it coming. So I guess like Zardy Maze is kind of like the same essence, where you kind of keep that secret, but yeah, it's a much quicker, I guess, payoff, because it's immediate as soon as you beat it up. I'm sorry, as soon as you boot it up. And like you just punch it in the face. But like even the title screen is very misleading. You click on it and you're like, oh, it's daytime, and then from that point forward, the title screen is always nighttime. But Doki Doki Literature Club did a good job with it. In terms DDLCs, this is the exact same idea.
You go into it and like it's not until halfway through the game you're like, okay. This is
having recently played through that game again, it shocked me how long the twist takes to happen, because like I sort of remember it happening like almost right away, and I'm just like, oh no, like you actually have to take your time with this a little bit. But yeah.
I like games like that. It's just like you said, it's just hard to really get those out there and try to promote them without ruining what it actually is.
Indeed.
It's been fun. It's been fun in terms of just experimenting, seeing what people react to, and just kind of going with the flow. I mean, it's a lot of the big, I would say, indie. It's weird to call them indie horror because, again, indie horror encompasses so much, but in reality, it's like children's horror games, I guess is what I would call them. Horror games that can be appreciated by anyone of any, I guess, age demographic, and it's not really about the gore or like truly scary things. It's just startling noises is really what it is, and challenging aspects. It is definitely kind of hard to aim for that, and it really, Zardy's Maze was an attempt to, I guess, go for that, because I really did honestly, a lot of that stuff is what got me into YouTube watching it, and I really enjoyed them.
Anyone else have any personal projects they would like to
how about yours, Charlie?
Oh, we're opening that bag of worms, are we?
Yes.
Well, part of because I know I'm gonna get into like a billion tangents with it, but like I guess part of the reason why I also wanted to do one of the just talk and verbal barf podcasts was because I feel like that has a lot of potential to also get into like deeper stuff, and I know that we don't honestly talk too much about deep stuff. And I was having this conversation with Swanky not too long ago, before Zardy came out. It was the night he had me try the beta test for the game, and we would talk about personal projects and how we felt and like the frustrations and stuff. And I think that something that we talk about sometimes, not very often, is like the struggle of the stress sometimes of being YouTubers. And the reason I'm bringing this up instead of, or not instead of, but like before, or I'm prefacing it before the project, is because it is something that's very personal to me. And it's tough. Like Tetris said something about like pushing it back, or like pushing it back. And to me, it's hard because it's like you have this idea in your head. You say like, okay, I'm going to announce this now. I'm going to build up hype for it. And then it's tough when it just sort of doesn't go anywhere for a while. And it's not because of a lack of trying. You try to assemble a group of people. And there are a lot of people who still have a misconception of what it is. A lot of people still think that it's an animated series. And
I guess go ahead and clarify what exactly your personal project is.
It is. It's a project called Soulstar. It's a video game project that I want to do. It didn't start out that way. It did start out as like an animation thing that I wanted to do way back when. This was before I met any one of you, and it it sort of devolved into that because I figured like this is the only way that I could get across what I really want to do, because I'm not a fantastic animator, so like I know that I would not be able to pull off a lot of fight scenes and whatnot. So that was my avenue. I was like, okay, well, we could do it for a more personal experience. There's so many things about it that, like Swanky said, you kind of can't talk about because you don't want other people like A, knowing what it is, B, potentially like taking that idea and doing something before you do it. And there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, I don't know if I want to talk about it, but at the same time, if I don't, people are going to lose interest. And I've explained certain aspects of it in terms of like the world and stuff. And I don't know if it's just because I get into my head too much about it or what, but it's just like I sort of trick myself into thinking like people are gonna think this is boring as shit. like just don't even explain it. Just don't even go for it. Just let it speak for itself. And it's tough. It's tough because you want to have something that people can look at. You want to have something that people can, because that's how I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to like have a crowdfunding campaign, show people like, hey, here's the demo. Here's like if you want to support it, if you want to like do something with it, go for it. If not, I completely understand. Because I would personally feel like morally wrong if I just like put it out one day and I was like, okay, now throw money at me, because that's not what it's about. It's not about like making money for me at least. I know that for me, it's not like I could care less. I couldn't care less if I profited off of it. But I know that that's not the way it has to go because I have to pay people in order to help me out with it. And that's tough, especially when you're like saving up for moving, when you're saving up for bills, when you're saving up for medical stuff. And it's tough. It's tough to sort of get into that mind space and think, should I start like an LLC? Should I like hire people through that? Do I post advertisements? What if I can't pay them? And I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff about it. And I guess those are just personal grievances. I know that I haven't really gotten into what it properly is. It is a hack and that's the thing. To say like what it is disingenuous for me because there's nothing yet. There's nothing. I would like it to be a hack and slash fantasy game. If you've seen nowadays there's a mobile game, I think it is, that's gotten very popular in these past few days, Genshin Impact. That's basically
what you're going
I
for?
want the combat. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. When I first laid eyes on one of those trailers, I'm like, oh my god, that's exactly what I want it to look like. Like the not so much visually, like it would still be like in my visual style, but like in terms of the combat, in terms of like the landscapes, I'm just like that's kind of what I'm trying to go for. But I know that that's very ambitious. Right. I've tried to do it. I've tried to handle some of it myself, but like it's learn how to model, learn how to animate in 3D, learn how to program. And when you're trying to juggle that on top of having a YouTube channel, which is like your thing, it's tough and it's discouraging. And it sucks when you have, people who are interested in knowing what it's about. And you're just like, I have nothing for you guys. I'm like, and it's not even so much that it's more so like, I don't want to say anything because it's going to sound like I'm just promising stuff,
Mm-hmm. I think.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was say, I think one of you kind of hit the nail on the head with any sort of personal project, especially even in the game space. Like by trade, most of us are, we do YouTube full time. Our bread and butter is playing games or making videos on games, but it's mostly in the realm of video. When you add another skill set on top of that, like when I was making my game, it was kind of like you clock out of one job and you clock into another, and it's a completely different skill set. And that is hard because with YouTube, I kind of, and I'm sure for you as well, when you're working on this project, you kind of have a idea of how long things take in terms of making videos. When you're making a game, and that's not something you've been doing for the past, your entire life, basically, there's no way to tell how long it's going to take, or fix the bugs, or iron out basically everything. And when you have a small team, you have to do everything. Like there's, it's not, you can divvy up tasks, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's you and whoever's on the project and who you can afford to have on the project.
And I think that's one of the things that I've loved the most about, doing Minus World for me personally. I was thinking about this, I think earlier today or yesterday, was that like we're all so like willing and committed, because I've in the past, and this is a huge problem that I've had with this project for many years. I've had people help me develop in terms of writing, right? Because like in terms of gameplay and stuff, that's stuff that like I have an idea for. I personally don't think it's something that's too complicated to sort of put together, because my main focus is on the story of it. I'm writing up the story, developing the characters, all that. And I've had people help me out with the project, and look over the story and be like, oh, I like this. Maybe you should try this out, do this. I'm like, oh, I appreciate all that. And then like, hey, would you like to, maybe help me out with this, work on this? And they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then like a couple months later, I don't hear from them again, Yeah. But like they're friends. They're friends. So of course I hear from them, but I don't hear from them in the context of like, hey, do you still want to work on the project? And it's weird when you try to do something like that. Because you don't want to like compromise the friendship. You're still very good friends with them, but you don't want to like pressure that, especially when you're not, there's nothing in it for them. They don't care about it as much as you do. But when it comes to Minus World, it's like I feel like it is something that all of us really do care about and are willing to put our effort into it. We want to see it grow. I know that I want to see it grow, and that's another thing that like it's been very meaningful to me to be able to see it grow. See numbers go up and be like, okay, well, we're not giving up on it, and that's great.
Yeah, we're all very committed. I was just going to go on a quick side tangent about trying to find people to help you work on projects. This year, I have worked with the most people I've ever had in my life, where I've had to go into cold, Discord servers and ask modders, hey guys, can you help me with this challenge video. Like we did the Sonic Adventure 2 collab video. Remember, we had to go into the Discord server and basically cold call people and be like, hey, can you help us? And thankfully, we were very fortunate to get help from that. But I mean, something I'm gonna try to do, and I know it's very hard to do, is to like just try to find people like professionals if you can, to like actually help with projects, especially like a game, because that's extremely challenging. I imagine. I mean, Swanky spent 2 years making his game, and he had a small team put together. So, yeah, it's hard to find people to work with that actually do want to help you and are committed to helping you too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like Grant, who's editing.
Yes.
Like Grant.
Like Grant.
Papa bless Grant.
Listen here, Grant.
Thank you, Grant.
Heard you bought my boy Swanky a beer and you ditched him at some bar. Explain yourself.
What's the story behind that?
It was Too Many Games 2000. Maybe it was 2018. I don't remember. Honestly, now that's 2020, so I forget the past. But one of these, it was when we all went out to Too Many Games. It was me, Loxton. And then the Treesicle team at
it was just
Too Many
two
Games,
of them, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think it was all of them. This is before Mike had joined up with them. But basically, what happened was I sort of did the orchestrating of getting us there as a group of panelists. So like our flights and stuff were covered, and we got lodging and all that stuff. But I kind of sort of pulled the strings a bit. So when it came to having the first event, they usually have like a party afterwards. It's at this bar. So then I'm sitting there talking with Grant, and Grant's like, "Hey, let me buy you a beer." So I was like, "Cool, sure, whatever's on draft's fine." So he goes and gets me a beer. And I guess actually he doesn't go and get me a beer. What happens is we go up, we order the beers, we both grab them, we go back and sit down. I'm next to, I believe also Ryan, who's from Treesicle, and Grant's like, "Hey, I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be right back." So there's 2 beers. I'm drinking my beer, and out of nowhere, the bartender comes out and basically starts accusing me of stealing drinks because Grant didn't pay they didn't pay. He forgot to give them his card. So I'm in there. I'm like, I don't know what to say. So basically the story is Grant offered to buy me a beer. Then he disappeared. And then I was like accused of being the thief.
I'm assuming you saw him again later that night.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. I've never talked to Grant since. No, it's yeah. But no, that's the story. It was a very, very... I was completely caught off guard because I had no idea what was going on. I didn't even know what she was talking about at first until she's like, "Yeah, what the beers you guys have." I was like, "Oh, wait, Grant didn't pay for this?" And I just look at Ryan and I'm like, "Where's Grant?" He's like, "I don't know." I was like,
Grant, what do you have to say for yourself? Unbelievable, Grant.
It's probably just I'm sorry. Sad emoji face.
It was pretty funny.
Grant, can you make Swanky a birthday cake and give it to him?
Yeah.
And another beer.
And another beer.
I want you to make me a draft beer, but you can cut it in half as it's actually a birthday cake.
Yeah, there you go.
Go full circle back to the cake meme.
He's just like,
oh my
damn
God.
it. All because I didn't pay for the beer.
Now you have to do it because we told you to.
Damn.
But it kind of goes back. Obviously, Grant is a very talented individual.
Yes.
Has done amazing work on Treesicle, and we're very fortunate to have him help out for editing our silly gameplay videos. But like, kind of going back, like having people, who have a good work ethic, who understand that YouTube stuff is, and even game things are, they're deadline based projects,
time sensitive.
So getting a team that understands that, having people who are reliable, because I think also you Char, you mentioned like the friend aspect, right? The friend aspect can be hard because what can happen is if they miss a deadline or they're feeling bad, they're trying to avoid confrontation. So then you actually just don't hear from them again because they're they're so scared to reach out and say, I'm sorry that I missed this, that it's easier for them to go cold turkey.
Yeah, and it's not even that because it's not like, and that's another reason why I was never confrontational about it, because it's like I have no reason to be. Yeah. And the thing is, like, I never had deadlines or anything because it was still like in the pre-planning stages. I was just like, okay, just help me out with this. I want to get this aspect of it done as soon as possible. I'm not even saying like, oh, let's get this done by this week. And then like when they just sort of walk away from it, it's like, I understand. It's still sucks.
Yeah, but it still feels bad.
hurts.
They told you they would do something and they didn't. You have a right to be a little upset about that. That's okay.
Just speaking of editors, I know that Tetra had one of his first videos with an editor recently. What was that like?
It was relieving. That's a whole other story.
Welcome to the editor club.
Thank you.
There's no more story, did you say?
No. I said that's a whole other story.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I want to hear it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, so for context, this video that I just put out, it's like my first big video that was not edited by me. In the past couple months, I've had other editors edit smaller stuff on my second channel or stream highlights and stuff. This was the first like big video with more major editing behind it. Now we're recording this podcast in October. This video I also put out in October, but I had it recorded all the way before PAX. Like it was supposed to come out, I think, either during PAX or the week after PAX.
Did you still have an editor then, or was this just like something you were gonna do?
So I went through 2 different editors at this point. This is the third, the one that on the third strike is when it finally got done. So yeah, it didn't really work out with the first 2 editors. Like, and it was just like didn't meet the deadlines. Like, I give them all the stuff. We talk about it. Stuff would seem great the first couple days out of it. Then weeks pass, month pass. I'm like, oh, can I get an update on this? Okay, I'll have it done soon. Another month passes. I'm like, okay, this is too long. I need to find someone else. Find another person. Same thing. Weeks pass, months pass. Oh yeah, I'll get it done in the next couple days. Blah blah blah. Doesn't happen. So on the third try, I'm like, okay, let's try this again. I reached out to a few more editors. Finally, this one got it done in 3 days. So I was like, oh man. Thank you.
That's what's up.
Thank you so much. Finally. So, I mean, it was my first time. So obviously, like when I was watching it back, I'm like, I'd probably change this. I'd probably shorten the dead air here for a little bit because it kind of drags on. I mean, small things that will get fine tuned eventually. But yeah, finally on the third try, it was a good experience. So, looking on expanding that for my videos in the near future.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. It took me probably, John was technically the first editor I had, but I've also had several part-time editors, and they were fine. But a couple of them quit, and a couple of them, it was like a weird time where I just like.
You had the same problem, I think, too, where it's just like they would tell you,
they were taking way too long.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say like names or anything, but sometimes it just happens. People just don't make the deadlines. So yeah, it can be very hard to find like really reliable editors and good editors as well.
Like Grant.
Exactly. Like Grant.
Go. So Grant, why didn't you buy the beer, Grant? Just kidding. Oh man.
Oh, you guys have Grant to think that we can run Minus World, because when we first started this, it was mostly me, Chari, and Tetra editing the videos, and we don't really have that much free time to edit. So like there was several nights I'm up till like 2:33 in the morning trying to get a Minus World video done. I'm like, oh my god, I'm dying. And yeah, after a few months we got consistent with it. We're like, okay, we're getting an editor, because like this is too much for all of us. We can't keep up with this. So
it was funny because when we started out, like it was like it was either you or me or Tetra doing it, and it was just
I think
it was tough.
Do the one too.
I think I did one.
He did the Hazy Maze Cave video.
Yes. And it was just, it was tough because like, we wanted to do it so badly, but we were like, okay, if we focus on this, we can't focus on our main channels. And that's so rough.
It's very, very rough. Exactly. So especially when you also have a personal project. So I have one that I've been trying to start it has started. It's just going very slowly. And Swanky's working on a game. So yeah, it can be hard to run another channel on top of what you're already doing.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how much of that do you want to talk about?
Sure, I can talk a little bit about my personal project. So, if you were a fan of the NBA originals, you've probably noticed there hasn't been any of those for like a year and a half now, and that is because I want to evolve that series. I want to do something that is a hybrid of live action and animation. I'll give it like a pending title. I'll just call it Project Universe. That is what this series is going to be called. It's going to be like an NBA original, but it's going to be much more higher production. And I have been working through the script for like a year. I mean, I keep going back and forth on, okay, is this going to be a 3-part thing? Is this going to be a short film? And it took an entire year for me to realize what exactly I want to do. So now, when I have free time, I work on the script, and I don't even want to start production. I don't want to start hiring animators and stuff like that until the script is done. Because I actually
That's how I feel.
Huh?
That's how I feel about my thing too.
Yeah. Well, you're making the right choice. I talked to Kevin quite a couple of times, and he was like, "Dude, we lost a lot of money when we were making Meta Runner because when they originally made Meta Runner, basically their scripts they like edited them." And then the animators had to like reanimate stuff during production. So that cost them a lot of money and it wasted a lot of time. So I'm trying to get this script done, and it's very hard to do while keeping up with multiple channels, plus just, everything else that's going on. So yeah, that's probably why I think next year I'm just going to upload less, honestly. There's going to be some weeks where I just don't upload because I want to work on this project, but want to do it for a long time. So
I hit that same kind of I had that same kind of issue when I was doing my game where you especially if you hire people, right? They're say, hey, here's the deadline for the project, kind of like this is what we're working towards, this is the goal. These are the milestones we need to hit. But like if you miss your deadlines, no one else can work on their work, but they should still be compensated for the time that they're putting in. Otherwise, you're kind of just wasting everyone's time.
Their time, yeah.
Right. That's why I want to get that script done, because then I can go through the process of hiring the animators and saying, okay, this is what I need done. This is the due date. And then like basically once I have the script done, a lot of my work is finished. Like obviously I will have to film the live action segments, and I'll probably also hire camera crew because I want it to actually be like filmed really like professionally. I want to actually try that. Like I know YouTube, you don't have to do that for YouTube, but this is something I've always wanted to at least try once. So, yeah, it's just getting that script done is so damn hard. It takes forever. So yeah.
Yes, indeed. It's a very different.
In Epic.
I was gonna make the joke. Are we gonna be in it again?
Of course. No, there'll be cameos of everyone in Minus World, of course.
Nice.
For sure.
Absolutely. You just gotta be at our house.
That's right.
We're recording.
Yeah.
Big house. It's such a different undertaking than a YouTube video for sure. Because with a YouTube video, you do your research. Well, at least for what we do, right? Because I don't know what the word. I feel like that's another thing that I've thought about recently is that the term YouTuber gets thrown a lot around, but there's so many different kinds of YouTubers and content creators out there that our processes are just so different. Like I can't imagine that the processes between us are radically different, but I'm sure that for other types of creators, it's just like, oh, I don't even use a script. So I like completely, jump over that part and go into filming or, production, whatever. But
like
undertaking
for Let's Players, the challenge is keeping your energy up.
Yeah.
I feel like for us, it's just staying consistent and making sure our research is good.
Yeah, like you said, there's different, like there's, on one hand, there's people that invest literal millions of dollars into a video like Mr. Beast or Casey Neistat or whatever. On the other hand, you have, not to knock anyone, but like people that make like a Fortnite video, Call of Duty video, which at most will take like maybe 4 hours, including like recording, editing,
and rendering
all that stuff. So it's there's a big difference. And at the end of the day, YouTube sees it the same. Like if it's a 10-minute video with 2 ads, they're both going to make the same amount of money at the end of the day. So it's really like, I don't want to say they're luckier because they're going to make videos that are a lot easier, but in a sense, if you compare the two, like if you're like working 100 hours on the same amount of video and getting compensated the same amount versus 4 hours, it's like it's interesting to look at it that way, I guess.
It's kind of go ahead.
Go ahead. No, good.
I was to say, on the Mr. Beast front, you have main channel upload gets 20 million views. Some crazy concept, right? That has probably hundreds of thousands of dollars and a huge team developing. But then you have an Among Us upload on his gaming channel, which gets also 20 million views, which took probably, I mean, obviously given the type of videos they're making, there's a lot of strategy and planning goes behind it, but it's all digital. Like no one actually has to physically be somewhere to record it. Everyone just pops on Discord, you record this stuff. And like, I imagine looking at those two things, they're like, the results of these are equal, but one took far less time to make, but one is more satisfying because you made something really cool. You went the extra mile to make it. And, it goes to show.
I was just going to be fair, the Among Us video, I guess it only did get that many views because he's built up his initial audience from those really big videos. So I get the comparison there, but one wasn't possible, I guess, without the other one building up the groundwork.
Correct. I meant some more so from a perspective of now that he's established in his career.
Yeah.
Where, I'm sure that's going through his mind in terms of like time commitment, like one versus the other. And that can probably also, I imagine it's hard to navigate that.
Right.
Well, see, what's cool about Mr. Beast is I think he uses his gaming channel, like the revenue he brings in for his main channel videos.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if he loses money, it doesn't matter. So that's another reason, like, why I think a lot of us take brand deals is because I know for me personally, I like to invest that money into things for videos. Like, as an example, the Lego Mario video, that video cost me $900 to buy every single Lego set. But since it was a big project, or since I do take like brand deals and stuff, I'm able to afford that kind of stuff. So
right. And I took a lot of brand deals this past year because,
for your game to help employ people.
Yeah, everyone on the project is compensated. So it's like, you have a team of 3 people who are tapping into your revenue in terms of like, or also just expense wise. But then you also have editors and anything that has to do with YouTube also is coming from those same things. So it's like when someone comes knocking and it's for a product that can help carry your personal project or help get your own game to that finish line. It's like it makes sense because at the end of the day, you want those people to be compensated for their time, and they produce better work when they're there's no issues when it comes to their compensation in the project.
You're just reinvesting into something else. It's so interesting because for creative types, I think it's a lot more difficult in the sense that like for a lot of people, it's just like, oh, I'm not very creative, but like I have this team of artists and people that like help edit these stuff. And good for them. They came from something, obviously, or rather they came from nothing, but they built it into something, and that's great. But I feel that for a lot of creative types who are the content creators themselves, who are the face, so to speak, it's more difficult because you're like, okay, I need to be more meticulous about this. I need to put more emphasis on that. I need to like, at least I know that that's the thing for me, because it's like there's so many little detail that I put in my videos that I'm like, people could hardly care if like the end product is the same if you do this regardless of whether you do it or not. Whether it be the thumbnail or the end slate, it's just stuff that I know is going to take a little bit longer, but I'm just like, I don't know. I do that for me. I've often said that like I'm an artist before anything else, even before like a content creator. That's why like I enjoy doing my own thumbnails or like the end slate animation, stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't know. It's if I didn't have that, I'd just be pumping these out and it would be soulless for me. Like it wouldn't be me, I guess. And it's tough.
Something. I know you don't necessarily want people to edit your EU videos, which I understand. But something that I do with John is when John finishes a video, if there's like any like small touch-ups that I want to add, I'll just go ahead and add them. Like I won't have him send me the finished product. He'll send me the project file, and if there's any small touches I want to make or just like add to it, I'll just do that real quick. So maybe that is something you could consider doing eventually.
I do the same thing. I get my video when videos come back, they're like 95% done. And I go
kind of like the same for me. Yeah.
I do the music. I do some color correcting on things or brightening of footage. I place in some shots that, if there's a better way to represent something from my initial thought process and what should be there based off the script, I fine tune that and then I just cue it all up and I render it myself.
Yeah, because that
Wish I
way
could do that.
I mean, I guess technically we could. We
no one
could
edits with Vegas, or everyone I contact uses freaking Premiere. I mean, I have Premiere, so I guess in theory I could, if I wanted to make little edits. But
yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you are going to go down that route where someone like edits the main portion of your video, and you want to do tweaks, you have to make sure they use the same video program. So yeah, I guess there is that too.
It's rough.
And if you don't have the full package yet, something else you can do is just, I guess, itemize your video and ship out the parts that people can do. So like maybe the voiceover editing. If you it's voiceover only, you can send it out, have someone help you, and while they're editing the voiceover, you could be getting the footage. That way, when you get back, instead of doing 100% of the project, now you're tackling like 80%. You can kind of break it up that way too. Also, that way you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. And you kind of feel out who you're working with, and if it's good, good match, then you can push it further.
Right.
The business cast.
People watching this probably like, we don't care. We don't care what freaking editing program you use, idiot.
I don't care if you don't care, idiot.
Cares.
I'm talking with my friends.
What's a big water bottle?
It is.
It is. It stores many water.
It stores many water.
It does.
That's a good quote. Grant, throw that quote up on screen.
It stores many water. This stores not many water.
No.
Just a little.
Dang. I don't know. Is there anything else we would like to talk about in regards to just anything? It doesn't even have to be about the same thing we were talking about. Just any thoughts, any ideas. Make it less like structured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to make Minus World merch.
Yes.
We should. Yes.
I agree.
Guys, leave us some comments of what epic merch we should make.
Nico cheats. That's the merch.
Holds much water.
Nico cheats.
Holds
Nico
many
holding
water.
a bag of
Holds
milk.
many water.
And saying,
many
I've never
milk.
played Mario.
all our merch is gonna be like Nico, a cartoon of Nico doing something.
It's all just gonna be exploiting Nico. Like it's just gonna be everything.
It's all
about
Nico. Always has been.
It's
We
all
sell
Nico.
bagged milk with Nico's face on it.
Yes.
Don't get
Nico's
his
face in
approval.
the milk.
We'll just ship it out.
And none of the proceeds go to him, just as an extra.
We could make our own bagged milk. Minus World bagged milk.
Let's buy a
Let's buy a cow.
farm. Let's buy just one cow.
Cow.
It's limited edition Minus World bagged milk. We made it ourselves. Nico
Get it
squeezed the
until-
udders out of the milk just for you.
Nico's on milk production. His morning live stream starts off with him going after his farm.
All right, what's up, Epic Gamers? We're about to,
Milk a cow.
utter the milk. Utter
That's
the
why
cow.
he said,
Yeah.
"That's my cow." That's the original. That's my cow. That's where it all
Oh
started.
wow!
Jesus,
It's,
yeah.
it's
My
all
cow.
It's all come full circle.
Was that
Add it
from
to the
Nova?
iceberg.
Was that from Nova Nukers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it? Okay.
We still need to play that game again.
I know.
Revisiting it
Yes.
in
I actually have a computer that
2020.
works now.
hell yeah.
We have to play Nova Nukers.
I would have to contact the company and just be like, hey, can I have a key for Nova Nuke? I'm not buying this game. Can I have a key,
This
please?
this is Mario Galaxy 2? Question mark.
Is this Mario Galaxy 2?
I think was it Nico who made a video say this is Mario Galaxy or something like that. Or,
Me and
so.
Nico had like the same title. We both
yeah.
did Mario Galaxy in the
Did you all upload the same day at the same time, or was it like strewn out
yeah.
across the
It was
week?
all,
on the
I
same
think
day.
it was. I think we had to, didn't we?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Tetra, were you not there for that?
I recorded. I didn't upload it though. I was
yeah.
not sponsored.
I think
Oh,
it was
chilling.
me, Simple, and
Just chilling.
Twinkie that were sponsored for that.
Okay.
And Nico,
Oh, so not
too.
even.
And
Oh,
Nico,
Nico as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you were just
What a
with the
weird,
boys.
like, isn't that so weird still how, like, you're doing a sponsored collaboration? I don't
Yeah.
know. That's
That
just,
is-
like, bizarre
It's
to me
actually
still.
really cool though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna
it's
say
really
it's
cool.
weird, but it's really cool because like you just get to be with
Yeah.
buddies and just be like, we're all getting paid for this.
See, you know what we need? We need a collaboration G Fuel video eventually. That'd be pretty dope for Minus World.
for
That'd be dope.
the one G Fuel sponsored guy.
No, I will convince him to get everyone on board. He's actually talking to Tetra, right? I think, right?
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Dope, dude.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Okay.
I think so. I didn't sign anything, so I guess so.
One person. I'll get everyone else on the team.
Nice.
Tetra's just camera like shuts off, like
Oh no!
turns to static.
Damn
Breaking
it.
up. Sorry, guys. I can't hear you.
Can't talk about it.
It's all secret.
Oh man. Oh, sponsorship.
Parsec too. Parsec.
Parsec.
I know you're not watching
Has-
this, but please sponsor.
I'm assuming Parsec has done sponsorships, right? Because I feel like we've been writing that
Yeah.
joke for a while now.
been-
No, I've
Okay.
worked with them a few times in the past. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
same.
You guys did the Mario Kart 7 video, I think, right?
We did
There was
Mario Kart
something you guys-
64 online.
Was that it? Okay.
So, well, I've done
remember-
that with everybody, but then I
Yeah.
also did an individual one. It was like Subspace Emissary without jumping. I think that had Parsec. Well, yeah, Tetra helped with that one too, because I need help
Yeah.
with co-op at some point.
Yeah.
And
You
the
did
Mario
it-
Galaxy
you-
Star
Mario
Bits
Galaxy,
also.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
that one.
also help
I also
from
helped
Tetra. Yeah, Tetra, you're just like, I don't know.
It's the Parsec guy.
I'm your
Yeah,
unofficial
exactly.
second employee.
Yeah, pretty much. Third employee with John.
Or, yeah.
Truth be told, we use Parsec probably for every other Minus World video.
yeah.
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 I don't
Even
know.
to like Nico's quizzes.
We did.
Yeah,
We did use
for
it for
Nico's
that.
quiz. We use Parsec.
We use
Not even a
Parsec
game.
for PowerPoint.
just- Yeah. Can we get that trending Parsec for PowerPoint?
But
I
it, has to
don't
be
know.
the, it has to be the number 4.
Oh yeah, Parsec for
Yeah.
PowerPoint. I don't know
Parsec
if you
for
guys
Prez.
know, but I'm assuming at least one of you knows. Like, have any of you like scouted out a sponsor before, or have like they all come for you and like asked you to do something?
Oh, you have to usually scout them.
Okay.
But I haven't done that in a while because I'm with an agency now, so they usually get them. But sometimes they'll approach me every once in a while. I think the G Fuel approached me earlier this year.
I
So
mostly
it
get
just kinda
approached.
depends.
I'm trying to remember if I reached out and got ExpressVPN, my very first time working with them. I reached out for my Rouge the Bat Sonic
Yes.
Adventure 2 video
I
where I
remember
tried doing all
that.
the levels.
Yeah.
I think there's others, but it's more seldom. Most of the time they just come knocking at the door and it's like, okay, let's talk.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever reached out to anyone. Or if I have, actually, no, I don't think I have. Usually, especially this month. But yeah, usually they'll just come knocking around my email, and 90% of them seem like scams.
Yeah, a lot of them
It's
are
tough to fish out.
scams.
Tough to fish out which ones are legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get a lot of requests for like random indie games where I'm at the point it's like, you've obviously never looked at my channel because if you did, you would know I'm not going to do a full dedicated video, 15-minute video playing some indie game. It's not what I do.
And if I do, it's going on my second channel, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Tetra disappears after this minus cast, we know
all
he's
know
saying
why
too
that-
much.
I'm fading out.
He just loses power again. Oh no.
Oh, not
Pulling
again.
the plug.
Don't.
The plug right now.
No.
Oh man.
I think I enabled autosave now, so I think I hope
Nice.
that doesn't happen again.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
That would suck. We learn from our mistakes.
Sometimes.
Do you have you should order if you don't have one of those surge protectors that have the battery backup for
Oh yeah.
like 20 minutes.
That would be good.
That way, if,
actually
in case
a
you
good
get zucked by lightning, just to
Well, it wasn't lightning. I
control
guess
S
it,
everything.
it's just all power went out, not because of lightning. But I assume it still works for that. Like I assume
Yep.
it gives you power for That
Yeah.
would be good.
We should definitely get that.
That's a good idea.
sure, yeah.
Are those bulky though? Like they probably must be pretty big.
They're large.
About the width of a
boys.
laptop, and they're typical.
Okay.
I mean, they're more. Think of like the YouTube gaming Jenga block, but a little taller, and it just has a bunch of plugs in it. You can get one probably for about $50.
Wait, these things store electricity if your power goes out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What? I didn't know
they
that.
protect you. They protect your equipment too if a surge comes through. Like so, if you have a transformer below, which happened to me recently,
Really? Oh yeah.
Oh,
it will
geez.
prevent your equipment from getting
Fried.
zucked.
Whoa. Say,
love
can
that
I have one of these? I didn't realize it protects you. That's cool.
I'm like, yeah, we should get one, and you're like, yeah, we should. You have no idea what it is.
No, I have one of those. It's literally over there, and you can't see it. So, haha.
So, haha. Funny.
Fuck
Where's the
those
fun?
that can't see it?
Where's the funny?
I like how in the middle of the podcast, everyone's going shopping for surge protectors now.
Yeah.
Why does this happen every time we're at the end of a podcast? You know, I'm just gonna go to eBay. How much does Monkey Ball 1 and 2 collection cost?
How much is this blanket of like JFK from Clone High going for?
I'm back on eBay.
No.
This is dangerous. I'm gonna go.
Oh,
now.
no.
It's dangerous. It is a rabbit hole.
That's
Ooh,
dangerous.
Pokemon cards. Don't even play it.
Do we guys want to wrap it up there?
Probably.
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so this is episode 27, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I have a way of segueing and ending this. So we're pretty much all going to go shopping now. So thank you so much for tuning in for episode 27 of Minus Cast. And we will
Yes.
see you all very soon again in our next episode, which will be 28. Sometimes I can't count. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.
In a bit.
Bye-bye.
In a bit.
Bye-bye.
In the comments, tell me what to buy on eBay, and I'll buy it. Okay, bye.
Don't do that.
Do it.
Don't tempt me.
I used Nintendo DS.
Oh no.
Used as an asterisk next to it.
Does it have to have it? Does it have to have a certain liquid inside of it? Oh.